HOA President Karen slammed her clipboard against the fence, shouting, "Pay the $500 pool fee or I'll shut this place down myself." When I told her the pool was ours, her face twisted with fury. Moments later, she pointed a gun at my daughter, Lily, and screamed, "Get out of the water, now!" A single gunshot shattered the afternoon calm. Lily screamed, water turning crimson. Karen smirked, thinking she'd won. She had no idea who she was dealing with. What Karen didn't know: I'm the police chief, and she just made the biggest mistake of her life. Before the story begins, comment below where you're watching from, and subscribe for more shocking HOA stories you won't believe. Lily's laughter echoed through the backyard, splashing water under the bright summer sun. The sound carried past the white fences, pure and joyful, the kind of laughter that made you forget the world could be cruel. Then the gate creaked open. Karen, clipboard in hand, sunglasses perched low on her nose, lips pressed into that tight little smirk she wore like a crown. Every step she took down the path screamed authority she didn't actually have. "Mrs. Miles," she said sharply, voice slicing through the air, "I've been trying to reach you for days. You haven't paid your HOA pool fee." I looked up from my chair. "What fee?" "The $500 maintenance charge. All pool owners are required to contribute. It's in the new amendment." I frowned. "Karen, that's my pool. It's on my property."
"The HOA doesn't own it," Karen laughed, the kind of laugh that didn't sound human.
"Oh, we own everything in this neighborhood, Mrs. Miles. You signed the agreement when you moved in." "I read that agreement," I said calmly. "And it doesn't give you the right to charge me for my own water." Karen's smile faded. "If you don't pay, I'll have to issue a violation. 3 strikes and we can file for property penalties." "Property penalties?" I almost laughed. "You're bluffing." "Try me," she snapped, turning sharply on her heel. "The HOA doesn't play games." Lily didn't notice the tension. She just kept splashing, her pink goggles glinting in the sunlight. She called, "Mom, look, I can float!" Karen's eyes followed her like a hawk watching prey. "She shouldn't be in that pool if it's not HOA approved," she muttered. "She's a child," I said, standing now. "Go home, Karen." Karen's face turned red. "You'll regret disrespecting me, Mrs. Miles." She stormed off, clipboard clutched tight. I should have known that wasn't the end. The next morning, Lily was already in her swimsuit before I finished my coffee. "Just 15 minutes, please?" she asked. I smiled and nodded. 15. She ran out to the pool, sunlight dancing on the water. I followed behind, but before I could even sit down, the fence rattled. Karen again. Same sunglasses. Same anger. But this time, her clipboard was gone. "Didn't I tell you?" she shouted. "Pool use is suspended until payment is received." I took a deep breath. "Karen, I'm not arguing with you again. Leave us alone. You think you can ignore me?" She screamed, stepping closer to the fence. "Everyone here follows the rules." Lily looked up, confused. "Mom, what's wrong?" "It's fine, sweetheart. Just stay in the water." Karen's hands shook. "She's breaking the rules. You're setting a bad example for everyone. Karen, go home." That's when she reached into her purse. At first, I thought she was pulling out another notice or fine slip, but the moment I saw the black metal glint in her hand, my blood turned cold. She pointed the gun straight at my daughter. "Get out of the pool or I'll kill you." "Karen, put that down." "Now," she screamed. Her voice cracked, wild and unhinged. "You think you can ignore me? You think your little badge makes you untouchable?" Lily froze, too terrified to move. I stepped forward, my voice steady. "Karen, don't do this!" "Out of the pool!" she shrieked. The air went still, then the sound. One deafening crack, Lily screamed. Water splashed crimson. "Lily!" I dove in, grabbing her, pulling her to the edge, pressing my hand to her shoulder. The bullet had grazed her. Blood trickled, but she was still breathing. Karen stood there, gun trembling, eyes wide and empty. Then she smiled. "I warned you." I rose slowly, heart pounding. "You just shot a child." She shouldn't have been in that pool. I pulled back my jacket, revealing the golden badge clipped to my belt. Karen's smile faltered. Her voice dropped to a whisper. What is that?" "I'm the police chief." Her face went white. The gun slipped from her fingers, landing in the grass with a soft thud. I stepped closer. "You just assaulted an officer's daughter on private property." Karen shook her head frantically. "No, I didn't mean..." She moved. Blue and red lights flared across the street. Sirens cut through the air, fast, sharp, unstoppable. Officer Ramirez burst through the gate, weapon drawn. "Chief, you okay?" "Secure her," I said, holding Lily tight. Karen tried to back away, but Ramirez grabbed her arm, snapping the cuffs in place. "You can't do this!" she screamed. "I'm the HOA president." "Not anymore," Ramirez said coldly. Neighbors peeked out from their doors, whispers spreading through the air. Phones recorded. Mrs. Turner from next door gasped loud enough for everyone to hear. Karen struggled in the officer's grip, mascara streaking her face. "It wasn't my fault. She provoked me. I was defending the rules." "The rules don't justify murder," I said quietly. Lily whimpered in my arms, her small hand clutching my sleeve. Karen's voice broke. "You'll regret this. I already do," I said. "Forever letting you near my family." They led her away, still screaming about her precious HOA, her clipboard, her power. But the neighborhood was silent, the kind of silence that falls after thunder. Later, when the officers left and Lily rested inside, I stood by the pool alone. The water was calm again, reflecting the golden sunset. Only a faint tint of red swirled beneath the surface. A scar, like the one my daughter would carry. Power, I realized, isn't in the rules. It's in protecting the innocent, and as the sirens faded into the distance, I whispered to the empty yard, "You picked the wrong family, Karen." "Mom, are they taking her to jail?" Lily's voice was small, shaky. The living room still smelled faintly of chlorine and fear. "Yes, sweetheart," I said softly. "She's going away for a long time." She said she was sorry. I looked down at her bandaged shoulder. She said a lot of things that didn't mean anything. The knock on the door came before I could say more. 3 sharp raps, professional. "Chief Miles?" Officer Ramirez stepped inside, hat in hand. His face was tense. "She's in holding," he said quietly. "But there's a problem." I didn't like his tone. "What kind of problem?" "She's already filed a complaint. Says you threatened her. Claims it was self-defense." My jaw clenched. "She shot a child. Her lawyer's spinning it fast." "The HOA board's backing her. Says you provoked her by refusing to comply with regulations." I laughed once, bitter. "So now HOA rules outweigh attempted murder?" Ramirez sighed. "They're saying the gun went off accidentally." Lily's eyes filled with tears. "She's lying." "I know, baby," I said, brushing her hair back. "And I'm going to make sure everyone else knows too." At noon, Ramirez called again. "She's making bail." She shot a 9-year-old. Her lawyer's good. Says it was an accident during an emotional breakdown caused by harassment. HOA's paying her fees. I stared at the phone. They're protecting her. She's got friends on that board, Chief. Old money. They don't care what really happened. I'll make them care. That evening, I was in my office reviewing body cam footage. Karen's face filled the screen, gun raised, voice shrieking. The shot, the scream, the splash, there was no denying it. But the audio had a faint glitch. Right before she fired, her voice cracked, and in that gap, someone could claim she slipped. A perfect loophole. The phone rang again. "Mrs. Miles?" The voice was oily, smooth. "This is Gregory Shaw, attorney for Ms. Holt." I said nothing. She's deeply remorseful. She'd like to resolve this peacefully. "If you agree to withdraw your statement, the HOA will..." "Withdraw my statement?" I cut him off. "She shot my daughter. Cover all medical costs, remove any HOA violations, and issue a public apology. You think this is about fines and paperwork?" "Everyone makes mistakes, Chief." I hung up. 2 days later, I went to the HOA meeting. The clubhouse was packed, neighbors whispering, cameras flashing. Karen sat at the front, arm in a sling, crocodile tears glistening under fluorescent lights. When she saw me, her lips curled. "Dana. Karen. I hope you came to apologize for the misunderstanding." "Misunderstanding?" She smiled sweetly. "I was terrified. You know how it is, I'm tension, shouting. The gun just went off." I stared at her, unblinking. "You aimed. You fired. You smiled." Gasps rippled through the crowd. One of the board members, a man with silver hair and too much cologne, cleared his throat. "Chief Miles, this is a community forum, not a courtroom." "Maybe it should be." Karen folded her arms. "You're abusing your position." This isn't a police matter anymore. It's HOA business. You made it a police matter the second you pulled that trigger. The room fell silent. She leaned closer, her voice low. You can't win against the board. We own this neighborhood, I whispered back. Then maybe it's time someone changed the ownership. That night, Ramirez called again. She's bragging online. Says she's untouchable. Good, I said. Let her think that. The next morning, a search warrant landed on my desk. I'd filed it quietly. Evidence tampering, witness intimidation, illegal HOA fund use. By noon, we were at Karen's house. She opened the door, feigned surprise. This is harassment. Step aside, I said. Her living room was full of documents, payment logs, private fines, fake maintenance reports. She'd been siphoning HOA funds for years. Ramirez whistled. Looks like she wasn't just charging pool fees. Karen's voice broke. You can't do this. You're violating HOA privacy. You violated state law. I picked up one paper, her signature approving her own emergency bonus. She lunged forward. Give that back! I looked her dead in the eye. You're done, Karen. By evening, her name was trending. HOA president arrested for fraud, attempted murder, and abuse of power. Neighbors gathered outside as she was led away again. Handcuffed, screaming, mascara running down her cheeks. You'll all regret this. I built this community. No one said a word. Only Mrs. Turner's voice broke the silence from across the fence. Guess you just got evicted, Karen. Days later, Lily sat beside me on the porch, feet kicking gently. Is it over now? She asked. Almost. Will we ever have another HOA president? I smiled faintly. If they're smart, they'll think twice. She looked at the calm pool, the sunlight glinting off the surface. Can I swim again? Yes, I said. You're safe now, she hesitated. You promise? I looked toward the empty house across the street, blinds still shut, a for sale sign swinging in the wind. I promise. The water rippled as Lily jumped in, laughing again. The sound was pure, unbroken, and this time, nothing, and no one, dared to stop her. Mom, there's someone outside again. Lily's voice trembled as she peeked through the blinds. Who is it? I think it's that bored guy, the one with the gray hair. Mr. Collins? Yeah, he's on the porch. The doorbell rang 3 times, slow and deliberate. I opened the door just enough to meet his eyes. Evening, Chief Miles. Collins. He smiled, adjusting his tie. I assume you've seen the news? If you're here to defend Karen again, don't bother, he chuckled softly. Defend? No, damage control. The board's reputation is fragile, then dissolve it. He ignored that. Karen's husband filed a lawsuit this morning. Claims psychological trauma. Blames you for public defamation. She pointed a gun at my daughter. Still, perception matters. The court of public opinion isn't always fair. Neither is your HOA, he sighed. We could make this easier. Step down as chief. Quietly, let the case fade away. I folded my arms. And let you bury her crimes under paperwork? He lowered his voice. You don't understand how deep this goes, Dana. I understand enough to know you're hiding something. He smiled, tight and cold. Then stop digging. That night, my phone buzzed nonstop. Messages, threats, fake news articles. One headline screamed, Police Chief under investigation for misuse of authority. At midnight, Ramirez called. They're trying to frame you, he said. Karen's husband submitted a complaint saying you falsified evidence. They're scared, I said flatly. They're desperate, he replied. And desperate people make mistakes. The next morning, Lily found something taped to the fence, a photo of our house. Red X drawn across it, she ran inside panicked. Mom, they're watching us again. I took the photo and crumpled it in my hand. Pack your bag, I said quietly. Are we leaving? No, we're fighting back. That evening, I walked straight into the HOA office. The board sat behind their polished oak table, pretending to look busy. Collins didn't even look up. Chief Miles, you can't be here without an appointment. I don't need one. Mrs. Harrington, the treasurer, smirked. You think you can intimidate us with your badge? I set a thick folder on the table. These are financial records from the last 5 years. HOA funds transferred to personal accounts. Karen's, yours, and 3 others. Silence. Collins's face went pale. You can't prove those are legitimate documents. They're from your own accountant. Who's now cooperating? Mrs. Harrington's hands shook. This is illegal. You obtained this without a warrant. I leaned forward. Actually, I did. 2 uniformed officers entered behind me. The room erupted. You can't do this! Collins shouted. Ramirez held up the paperwork. We can, and we are. Get out of my office. Harrington screamed. It's not yours anymore. Collins slammed his fist on the table. You'll regret this, Chief. The board has connections. Powerful ones. So does the law. By nightfall, the HOA was in chaos. Arrests, subpoenas, news vans lined the street. Neighbors watched from lawns as officers carried boxes of evidence out of the clubhouse. Lily stood beside me, holding my hand. Are they going to jail too? Yes, all of them? Every single one. Her lips curved into the smallest smile. 2 days later, Karen's husband showed up at the station. His suit was wrinkled, his voice shaking with rage. You ruined us! She ruined herself. You humiliated my family. Your family pointed a gun at a child. He leaned in close, whispering, You think this is over? We still have friends on that board. People who don't forgive, I met his stare. Then they can join her behind bars. That night, someone threw a rock through our window. Lily screamed. I grabbed my weapon, heart pounding. Outside headlights flashed once, then disappeared. Mom, they're coming back, aren't they? They can try. The next morning, I arrived at my car to find all 4 tires slashed. Ramirez was already waiting nearby. They're escalating. They're desperate, I said again. He nodded. We'll put surveillance on the house. 24-hour patrol. I want names, I said. Every remaining board member still unaccounted for. He handed me a list. 5 names. At the top, Arthur Collins. That evening, he called me. You win, Dana, Collins said, his voice trembling. We're done. The board's finished. Good. But remember this, we built this place. Without us, it'll fall apart. Then let it. He laughed bitterly. You really think the neighborhood's safe now? You have no idea who funded this HOA. You're fighting ghosts, Chief. Then I'll hunt ghosts. The call ended. I turned toward the window. Across the street, a black SUV sat idling, engine humming low. Lily appeared beside me, clutching her stuffed bear. Mom, who's that? I watched the SUV slowly pull away. Someone who just realized they picked the wrong family again. Days passed. News broke nationwide. Corruption ring tied to local HOA exposed. The governor called me personally. The department launched a full investigation. But that night, when the lights went out across the street and a single red laser dot flickered across the curtains, I knew one thing. Karen's story wasn't over, and neither was mine. And someone's at the gate. Not now, Lily. Stay inside. But they're staring at me! I grabbed my keys and stepped outside. Across the street, the black SUV sat idling, headlights off, shadowed under the street lamp. The engine ticked softly, too calm, too deliberate. Ramirez, did you see this? I whispered into my comms. Yeah, I've got eyes on it too. Doesn't look like a normal neighbor. I watched the door of the SUV slowly open. A tall man stepped out, his suit immaculate, face unreadable. He carried a briefcase, but his presence screamed intent. Can I help you? I said, stepping forward. He tilted his head, smiled faintly. Chief Miles, congratulations on your recent successes. Quite impressive. That so? You're trespassing, he chuckled. Trespass? No. I'm an investor. Let's say, an interested party in HOA affairs. I raised an eyebrow. Interested enough to intimidate my family? Call it persuasion. Later that night, the SUV returned. This time, 2 men in black coats exited, surveying the property like predators circling. Lily clutched my hand. They're just neighbors, I said, trying to calm her. They're not, she whispered. I took a deep breath. Ramirez, full surveillance. Cameras, drones, motion sensors. I want this perimeter locked down. Yes, Chief. Next morning, a note slid under the front door. Lily ran to me with it trembling in her hand. I tore it open. Congratulations. You've won the first round. But the HOA has long memories. Enjoy the calm while it lasts. K.I. crumpled it. Looks like Karen isn't done. She's not alone, Ramirez said, scanning the street. You think this investor is connected? Definitely. Someone funded Karen's tactics, and now they're testing you. The board called an emergency meeting that afternoon. Collins, Harrington, and 3 others sat stiffly in the meeting room. Still pale from arrests and subpoenas, I see the chief is still breathing down our necks. Collins muttered. You should be grateful she's alive to enforce the law. Harrington snapped back. Enough, I said, slamming the folder on the table. We're done with games. The HOA's corruption ends now. Every transaction, every hidden account, every threat, I have it. And if any of you think you can revive Karen's plans, think again. Collins leaned forward. You don't understand. The investor? He has influence. Federal level. He can bury this, I smiled. You mean he can try? That night, as I monitored cameras, headlights flashed across the yard again. The SUV, a shadow moved near the fence. Ramirez. Deploy the drone. The drone hovered silently, spotlight illuminating two figures carrying what looked like briefcases. They're scoping, Ramirez said. Could be weapons. Could be documents. Hard to tell from here. Everyone inside, I ordered. Lily and Emma hurried upstairs. I stayed by the window, badge visible, gun holstered but ready. The SUV pulled away. The men vanished into darkness. They're testing our response, I said. They want to know how far they can push. And if they find out, they'll regret it. 2 days later, Collins called. You can't stop this, Chief. You've won battles, but not the war. I've seen every move, every angle, Collins. You forget, the law isn't just paperwork. It's action. And I act fast. You have no idea who's funding Karen. He's untouchable. Then I'll reach higher. Later, at Lily's soccer game, Emma whispered, Are you sure we're safe? As safe as anyone can be when monsters refuse to quit, I said. Suddenly, Lily pointed. Across the field, a black SUV lingered again. Dad, them again. I tightened my jaw. Let's see who's braver today, them or me. That night, a package appeared on the porch. Inside, an old HOA ledger, dates circled, notes scribbled in someone else's handwriting. This is a trail, I murmured. Someone wants us to follow it. Or to fall into a trap, Ramirez warned. Then we follow it carefully. 2 hours later, a call came from an unknown number. Chief Miles, a cold voice said. You're meddling in things beyond your jurisdiction. I've stopped far worse than Karen and her little crew, I replied evenly. The line went dead. Next morning, Collins resigned. Harrington disappeared without notice. Rumors spread. The investor had pulled funding. Karen's remaining allies were in hiding. Does this mean it's over? Emma asked. Not yet, I said. But we've made them think twice. Across the street, the black SUV sat idling. Empty. For now. I looked at Lily. You want to know the truth about people like Karen? I do. They don't stop. They just wait. But when you protect what matters, you always have the upper hand. And in that quiet moment, I realized the war was far from over. But this round we had won, Lily. Dad? That black SUV is back. Right outside. Me, or stay inside. Don't even look at it, Emma. Who is it this time? Another neighbor? Me. No, someone far worse. Ramirez. Chief, I'm tracking multiple signals from that SUV, 2 people inside. And, wait, I'm seeing a third car circling the block. Me. Perfect. They're showing themselves. Phone rings. Unknown number. Me. Chief Miles speaking. Cold voice. Ah, finally. I've been waiting to speak with you. Me. Who is this? Cold voice. You can call me Vincent. I'm the one who funded Karen's little projects. Me. So you're the mastermind hiding behind her chaos. Vincent. Mastermind? No, let's call it investment in order. I see you've dismantled my HOA network quite efficiently. Impressive, me. You threatened a child. That's not impressive. That's criminal, Vincent. She's gone. I'm curious about your next move. You've made enemies, Chief. Powerful enemies. And now, it's personal. Me. Personal is where I thrive. Vincent. We'll see about that. Click 2 hours later, Collins calls from a blocked number. Collins. Chief! It's worse than we thought. Vincent's reputation. He doesn't lose. Me. Then we make him lose. One move at a time. Collins. He's got connections across counties. State level. Even political ties. Me. Then I'll pull every string tighter than he can reach. That evening, SUV pulls up again. Emma. Dad, they're here. Me. Stay inside. Lily, go upstairs. Ramirez, I want drones in the air, every exit covered. Ramirez. Copy that. Eyes everywhere. 2 men step out. Expensive suits. Calm, but the aura of predators. Man 1. Chief Miles. We meet at last. Me. You've been watching too long. Man 2. Observation is part of the protocol. Vincent wanted us to gauge your methods. Me. Then I hope he's taking notes. Because I protect what's mine. The men approach the driveway. Man 1. We're not here to harm. Not yet. We're here to negotiate. Me. Negotiate? After Karen aimed a gun at my daughter? After months of chaos? Man 2. Karen was reckless. But Vincent sees potential in you. Discipline, strategy. That's why we're offering terms. Me. I don't deal in terms with people who threaten children. Man 1. Then the next move won't be friendly. You understand the risk, me? Every risk has a counter. Every threat has a response. Lily peeks from the window upstairs. Lily. Dad. They're scary, me. I know. But they don't know who they're dealing with. Not fully, Emma. Dana. What if they come inside? Me. They won't. Not without consequences they can't handle. 2 hours later, the men leave a package at the end of the driveway. Me. Open it, carefully. Ramirez opens it. Finds a binder full of HOA documents, photos of surveillance, and handwritten notes. Ramirez. Chief. This is detailed. They've been watching for months, even before Karen. Me. Exactly what I thought. This is the playbook. They want to see how I react. Emma. So? What do we do? Me. We turn it against them. Every document, every photo becomes leverage. Phone rings again. Unknown number. Me. Chief Miles. Vincent. I see you've found my little gift. Clever. Me. Clever enough to get caught. Vincent. You misjudge me. I don't lose. I adapt. Me. So do I. I've survived Karen. I've survived your agents. You think I'll fold now? Vincent. I admire your courage. But courage alone won't protect your family when the shadows come alive. Then we'll bring light. 2 days later, the neighborhood wakes to a series of cars parked outside the HOA clubhouse. All black. Tinted windows. Collins texts. Chief. They're here. Full force. Vincent sent reinforcements. Half of them aren't HOA, they're security contractors. Me. Then we match force with law. Ramirez coordinate all local precincts. Emergency protocols, now. Ramirez. Understood. Deploying officers, blocking exits. Lily. Dad? I'm scared. Me. Good. Fear keeps you alert. But it won't break us. Not ever. Emma. They're serious this time. Me. So am I. That evening, I meet the SUV head-on at the street corner. Man 1. Chief Miles. Again, me. Vincent underestimated me. You're the wrong family to threaten. Man 2. You've dismantled the HOA. You've exposed Karen. But he's patient. He waits, and he's willing to strike where it hurts most. Me. Then I'll be ready, always, man. 1. We'll see. Enjoy the calm before the storm. Vincent isn't done. Not by a long shot. They drive away. Inside the house, Lily hugs me tightly. Lily, are they going to come back? Me. They already have. And they will again. But every time, they'll meet me first. Emma. Dana, how long can we keep doing this? Me. As long as it takes. Protecting family isn't temporary. It's forever. Lily. Promise we'll be safe? Me. I promise. No one hurts this family. Not Karen, not Vincent. Not anyone. The street grows quiet. Too quiet. I glance toward the horizon. The SUV's silhouette disappears into the distance, but I know this is only the beginning of Vincent's war, and I'm ready. Lily. Dad. It's them. Right outside the driveway. Me. Good. Let them show themselves. Ramirez, full perimeter. Every exit blocked. Drone eyes everywhere. Ramirez. Copy that, Chief. They're moving in from 3 directions. Looks like a coordinated strike, Emma. Dana. Are we ready for this? Me. Ready? We've been preparing our whole lives for moments like this. Stay inside. Lily upstairs. Watch and learn, but stay safe. Vincent's SUV arrives first, black and silent under the streetlights. 2 SUVs follow. Men step out in black tactical gear, briefcases in hand, scanning the house. Man 1. Chief Miles. Finally meeting you in person, me. I've been waiting for you. You think you can intimidate me? Go ahead, try. Man 2. You've been clever. Dismantling Karen, handling her minions. But he doesn't tolerate mistakes. Vincent sent me to teach you that patience has limits, me. Then you'll learn patience too. I protect what's mine. The men approach the lawn. I step outside, badge visible, gun holstered but ready. Me. Step back. You're trespassing, armed and under observation. One wrong move and this ends very badly for you. Man 1. Chief, we're not here to start a firefight. Yet, we're here to negotiate. Me. Negotiate? After Karen tried to kill my daughter? You must be joking. And 2. Karen was reckless, but Vincent sees potential. For compromise. You dismantled everything, but he wants to test your limits. How far will you go to protect your family? Me. Farther than you can imagine. Lily peeks through the window upstairs. Lily. Dad? They look scary. Yeah, I know. But they don't know who they're dealing with. They don't know my training. They don't know my limits. Emma. Dana? What if they force their way inside? Me. Then they'll regret it. Ramirez, watch the roof lines, check the back alley, and ensure every neighbor is safe and indoors. Ramirez. Already done. We have a full lockdown, Chief. Anyone moves, we see them before they move. Vincent calls through a secure line. Vincent. Chief Miles. I admire your persistence, but persistence alone won't save you. Karen was the beginning. I'm the next level. You've seen my agents. Soon the rest of my network will converge. Resistance is futile, me. You forgot one thing, Vincent. My family isn't negotiable. My law, my rules, my response. Unstoppable. You want war? You'll get it, and I set the terms. Vincent. Bold. Let's see how long that lasts. Click 1 of Vincent's men moves suddenly toward the lawn gate, briefcase in hand. Me. Stop! Hands where I can see them. Man 1. Relax, Chief. It's just a demonstration of good faith. Me. Good faith? You're armed, trespassing, and funded by a criminal investor. You don't get to define good faith. Man 2. Chief, you underestimate the leverage Vincent holds. You've dismantled one operation, but this is the full scale, me. Then it's the full scale of justice waiting for him. Ramirez, drone in tight. Infrared active. Thermal sweep. Across the street, neighbors peek cautiously, sensing the tension. One whispers, Neighbor, that's Dana Miles. He's not like anyone else. If he says stand down, you stand down, Lily. Dad, are they going to hurt us? Me, not if I have anything to say about it. Look, you watch. This is how you protect what's yours. Emma, Dana, what's your plan? They outnumber us. Me, numbers don't matter. Strategy matters. Every step, every approach, every distraction. I anticipated it. Ramirez, lights on all entry points, signal every backup unit. Let's make this interesting. Ramirez, all set. Units in position. SWAT ready on standby. Drone feed live to command center. Suddenly, a briefcase clicks open on the lawn. I step closer, gun trained but cautious. Man 1, inside. Is the first of many messages. Vincent wants you to see his reach. I open it, find photos, surveillance of the house, neighbors' schedules, HOA board secrets, contracts, all meticulously documented. Me. You think scaring me with paperwork works? You just showed your hand. This becomes leverage for me now. Every move you make, I counter. Every threat. Turned against you. Man 2. Clever. But the real game hasn't started. The network is vast. Vincent controls more than you know, me. Then let him try. I've faced worse than HOA presidents with guns. I've faced chaos before breakfast. My daughter is safe, my wife is safe, and you are trespassing in a world you shouldn't have entered. Vincent calls again. Vincent. Chief Miles. Impressive. But consider this a warning. You've won skirmishes, but the war has just begun. Karen was the spark. I am the wildfire. You can't contain me, me. Wildfire? I control fire. And you just lit the match on my terms. Vincent. Click, minutes later, backup arrives. SWAT, local precinct, drones. Every exit blocked, every street monitored. Man 1. Chief, you've prepared well. Too well, me. I told you. You don't threaten children. You don't trespass on my family. And you certainly don't underestimate the chief, man two. This isn't over. Vincent will escalate. Me, then we'll be ready. Every time. Forever. You've learned a lesson about family, authority, and consequences. Don't test it again, Lily. Dad? Did we win? Me. We did. For now. But remember, vigilance never ends, Emma. Dana, they'll be back, me. Let them. Every time they come, they'll meet the law. And me, the wrong family. The wrong neighborhood. The wrong police chief. The SUVs disappear into the night. Silence falls. I look at Lily. You saw this, right? This is how you stand your ground. How you protect what matters, Lily. I saw, Dad. I want to be brave like you, me. You already are. And now you know. Threats only have power if you let them. Our family. Our rules. Unbreakable. Emma. Dana. What about Vincent? Me. Vincent will try. He always does. But he'll never touch us again without consequences. And that's a promise? Street quiet. Moonlight on the driveway. I check the cameras one last time. Me. Family safe. Perimeter secure. Enemy repelled. For now, Lily. Can we finally go to sleep? Me. Yes, Lily. Sleep tight. Tomorrow, we stay ready. But tonight, we've won.